Good morning. Welcome to our episode of Inside My Mind. Just these, these something a little while ago or last week. And it was talking about how the internet is potentially going to kill itself. It's the death of the internet, I think was the phrase it said, due to AI. And I feel that, in amongst my algorithms and use of the internet, just like Facebook really, that in the last week or 2 weeks, it has exploded with AI generated content. Everything from just plain text um, to videos. And a video I was watching the other day was actually really interesting content. Oh, I remember it now. And it was one of these ones with like a film behind it and then the face of the narrator in front of it. And he was, I don't know, telling me, I don't know what it was now. Oh, anyway, it was not the most attractive person. Sorry, like real average, below average looking. He was from somewhere in the north of England. Again, I can't remember. And it was very convincing until he said one word. Ah, and I wish I could remember the word. This is not very clearly explained. Anyway, whichever word he was saying, and he says it like really wrong, regardless of his accent, he said it wrong, and that turned on my attention. I was like, bloody hell, this is an AI generated thing. This is an avatar or whatever we call it. This person's not real. And then I looked more closely and I was like, yeah. But it was so convincing. And if it weren't for that one word, I never would have known. And then because I continued watching some other videos, played as the track of the AI. And I noticed that the rhythm of his voice and the phrases of his voice it was good, but it was pretty predictable. It was pretty samey. I was like, oh my god, I've been conned. Like, I'm really happy to watch cute AI videos of little ducklings wearing winter coats. Obviously, I don't want that to be AI, but I'm pretty sure it is AI. And it's cute and it makes me smile. But somewhere along the lines, we're losing, and it's losing for me, the truth. And then in the discussion that I was listening to, it said, I'm pretty sure it was a Stephen Bartlett discussion. It was on the Diary of a CEO, absolutely brilliant podcast. And he was interviewing a security expert. Can't remember his name. He had like a real kind of like normal name. Was it Gavin? It was something. Jeffrey. Oh, no, Jeffrey Epstein. They did speak about Jeffrey Epstein. I haven't worried myself too much with all of those details. Anyway, whatever the security expert's name was, it was really good. It was fabulous. And yeah, so he was just sort of like ripping off his idea. He was talking about it, really resonated with me, how we, the human race, are going to get so perturbed by the lack of trustworthiness, that's the word, the lack of trustworthiness of what we are consuming on the internet, that we're actually going to do full circle. The death of the internet is nigh. And we're going to just really relish what we are able to consume in real life with our five senses. And my goodness, did that resonate with me? Like I love, yeah, I don't read books, but I love facts and I love reading information and articles, and the internet is my place to source those. But it gets kind of boring to be reading internet generated stuff and out doubting myself. And are academics always right? Well, I don't know, but I actually wish they would, in academic articles, they would be allowed to by the academic community insert their point of view, which is, I suppose, why podcasts are so good, because you have the academics in their interviews and they can, can tell by their tone of voice and stuff like that, their point of view. Well, I suppose also their point of view is what they are focusing their research on and their PhDs and stuff. I've never, ever, ever made a PhD thesis. I don't think anybody would ever bother doing that. Anywho, but yeah, so here I am going about my daily life, and actually, in my renewed quest for back to basics. Which prime minister said that? Was that like Tony Blair or someone? The back to basics. I'm not a fan of Tony Blair, mainly because I went on a protest against the Iraq war. When was this? I would have been like 20, 21 years old. So 2001, 2002-ish, in Manchester. It's the only political protest I've ever been on. And it was really scary, actually. And no, actually younger than that. You know how I base my knowledge on? It's based on you as my boyfriend at the time. I was under 21, so maybe it was like 1999, 2000. Anyway, a quick Google search will state when the protest was in Manchester, protesting against England joining the Iraq war in order for Tony Blair to feel powerful next to the United States. Anyway, was it he that said back to basics? I hope never. But one thing I love about living in New Zealand is we are so far away. It is important for us to be aware of what is going on in the rest of the world, because it does massively impact us. Case in point, petrol. I topped up in petrol last night, and with my 8-cent New World discount, after buying Action Falls, which we forgot to get from Saturdays, so I didn't spend extra money to get my discount. I would have bought it anyway, and no one spent it New World. It was $2.92 per litre after an 8-cent discount. So yeah, what's going on in the rest of the world certainly does impact us, mainly financially. I'm not panicking, but I did buy an extra pack of food paper. But I do like it in New Zealand because I can just actually retreat into the simplicity of my 5 senses and go about my daily life, and actually working with my beautiful, beautiful special needs kids is a very grounding exercise and helps me to remember to put things into perspective and what's important. And yesterday we had there was a fire alarm went off, the sensor was faulty or something, and one of my girls, she has Down syndrome, and she was really scared, and she was crying, and she wanted to cuddle, and it's just like so beautiful. I love special needs children because they don't put too much of a filter on things. Anyway, so well, that was a entangled creation of Inside My Mind. I wonder what will be next.